Hello, everyone. I hope you are well. Now, when we started this channel, I didn't think I'd ever be making any videos like this. These aren't the videos that I want to make, but this I feel is a necessary video because I am beyond unhappy with how things are transpiring at the moment with certain issues I'm having with InArt. And we started this channel and named it the Six Scale Shields because we were InArt Shields, self-admittedly. And to be having these issues with that company doesn't feel right to me. Now, we always hear about InArt and their exceptional customer service. And it always appears to be we hear about these things when they're in a YouTube video, right? Now, this isn't an attempt to get preferential treatment by making a video about this. This is to highlight the issues that I'm having with InArt as a company. Now, if you caught the last string, you'll know that I had found out that, and this one's completely on me, to be fair. My Gandalf had two right feet, which is the most ridiculous thing ever, right? So I contacted InArt. Sorry, let me scroll back just a second. My Legolas arm snapped while posing, and my Nazgul had a very loose left leg. The last one, the Nazgul, I'm not too bothered about anymore because in retrospect to the rest of it, it seems pretty menial. So I contacted InArt about all three of these things. Now, Gandalf, they by some miracle had boots in stock for Gandalf, which is insane. And because I didn't have any, I bought him off of eBay. I didn't have any proof of purchase or anything, so they charged me $7 for the boot and $28 for shipping, which stung a little bit, but it is what it is. To get my Gandalf back to the way he should be, happy to pay that money. That's fine. I bought a part from InArt, so that isn't part of this warranty process or whatever this process be after sales, right? Now, the Nazgul, I purchased for Toys Assemble, which isn't a problem. But because they're not an official distributor, I have to speak to Toys Assemble. Not a problem. Okay. So I purchased Legolas through an official distributor or a vendor, whichever way you want to put it. And I contacted InArt and they said, yeah, we give permission for them to fix Legolas for free. And just for those of you that don't know, this is Legolas at the moment. You can see here, he's got a completely snapped arm. And it just fell on snapped. While posing quite normally, it just snapped. Like it was like this, like posing like this. I heard a pop, and I was like, "Oh, the ball joints popped out. How weird!" And then I looked and realised there's no ball joint at all, and it was just straight snapped. I would like to point out as well. I don't like to be negative, overly so. This body is cheap. This is a cheap body. Now, if you own the Jokers or the Pennywise, you will know that those bodies, when you hold them, they feel significant. They feel good. This is cheap. This is cheap. And it is scrawny, which is obviously the look they're going for. But look at the size of that joint. It's tiny. So it makes sense that it's snapped. I've applied no pressure to this. It is simply like this. That's how I was posing. And it just had a pop. Thought, oh, that's weird. Couldn't get it to pop back in, so I undressed him, and wouldn't you know it, it is snapped. Now, I contacted the vendor who advised me to contact InArt. They are an official distributor, so I did so. And InArt gave the go-ahead to, replace it for free. And then, InArt wanted the body back, which I find strange. It's broken. It's going in the bin, right? But they can repair or replace it, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, it was just that I had to pay shipping to get it there. A bit annoying, but it is what it is. Let's just get it fixed. To now, after InArt have said via email to me that they will do this free of charge, it's now because it wasn't received broken, I have to pay. So this is where I have the issue. So going forward, is that the precedent that we're setting, that if anything occurs with an InArt figure after that unboxing video wraps, because I don't know about you guys, I do them all the time now, but I don't go to the madness of posing it in every way, shape or form that I could. And more importantly, as I spoke to Mandy earlier, she said, you could pose it 3, 5, 10, 20 times, and then the 21st time snaps. Doesn't mean you've put any force into it. It just means that joint was defective and it has now snapped. Now, InArt are saying that I have to pay because I don't have video evidence that this was broken on arrival. It was not broken on arrival. It broke shortly after. I've only had this figure a couple of weeks. So what we're saying now is anything after that video wraps is the customer's fault because it can't be proven otherwise. And I understand entirely that you would review this on a case-by-case basis. I do. I have obviously replied to InArt. I have yet to receive a response on my last email, which was somewhat demanding of a new body after being put through all of these hoops just to get told to go away effectively, unless I want to pay the cost of a new body. Now, this is unacceptable. It really is unacceptable. The money that we pay, InArt are a premium 1/6 producer. They are, and they stand up to that premium label, right? We love InArt for the most part. I know there's some people that aren't too much of a fan, but for me, I love them. I love their figures. A little bit of a shaky relationship right this second, but hopefully we can fix that. So this is an open letter to InArt. I think while you need to protect your business, I think you also need to look at it from another perspective and think that potentially just because there's no video evidence of something breaking, that it's the customer's fault. That's really not the way to do things, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. Now, I know Hot Toys have their own process to get parts repaired, replaced, whatever. But the reality is that I'm not asking you for a head sculpt. I'm simply asking you for a body, which is potentially the cheapest part. And we know for a fact, having looked and felt this outside of the clothing, this is 150% the cheapest part of the figure. To send a customer a body, even if I had to, pay shipping, fine, whatever. To send the customer a body to make that whole situation squared away, I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. Now, there's going to be people in bad faith that will try and trick you into sending items to them for free. Of course, there's always going to be those people, right? But why would I go for a body? Surely I would go for a head sculpt or something, something actually worth something. This is worth a couple of cents at best. And I think probably the most expensive part is the fat suit, let's be honest. So yeah, this is an open letter to InArt. I'm hopeful that they will be able to resolve my issue. But at the moment, telling a customer they need to be charged the full price for a new body plus shipping, which is probably going to be for me another 50, 60 pounds, to fix a figure that I didn't, well, technically I did break it because, it was in my hands when it snapped, but I didn't break it, it's defective. For them to replace a defective part, I need to pay out the nose for it. And that's not the way to do things. So I didn't want to make this video, but I'm sort of getting nowhere at the moment. I'm going in circles. Obviously, the vendor that I purchased from and their supplier have been very helpful trying to get me a resolution. But although InArt said they were happy to do it for free, when I went through that channel, because they asked me to do that, they've then said no, that the customer has to pay if the customer broke it. So, yeah, there is such a thing as defective parts. It doesn't mean they're going to be defective out of the box InArt. It may be the case that a customer simply poses their figure and then it breaks at some point in time. Now, if it's 2-3 years down the line, I'd say yeah, but I'd expect to be charged for a new part, right? Because it's been a while. I'd expect that. Like with Gandalf, happy to pay the price for the boot. But yeah, this figure is a couple of weeks old InArt. It has snapped. The body was defective upon arrival. Just because I didn't get it in the video does not mean that it was my fault that this very cheap plastic body broke. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to post this video. Hopefully someone at InArt sees it. I'm going to post this on the groups as well, because quite frankly, if you're going to be positioning yourself as the premium 1/6 brand, your customer service also needs to be premium. And at the moment, all I've received is mixed signals, and basically being told that this is my fault and I need to pay for it. Now, like I said before, I appreciate there are going to be people that break things, whether accidentally or on purpose, and try and get a new item from you. But you need to review these on a case-by-case basis rather than just saying, no, it's the customer's fault, pay us money. It's not good enough. I've already paid a substantial amount for your figure. So you need to make this okay. Anyway, guys, I'll try and make something more positive next time. But for now, that is the video. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all on Saturday.